but we got our depth chart to talk about. Like I said earlier in the first half of the show here is that we do have an unofficial depth chart that is currently listed on the Rams website, but it kind of looks like what happened there was that's the same one we've been seeing, and then they just removed all the people who were just cut. So unfortunately, it's very incomplete and extremely inaccurate, all right? So that one is not very helpful for you guys, but let me give you my prediction, and feel free to play along at home here and drop yours in the comment section below. But at the quarterback position, I'm going to go ahead and say bold, bold, bold here. Matthew Stafford gets the start, and John Wolford is number 2. Of course, Bryce Perkins sitting at that number 3 spot. I do anticipate him being inactive for most games as long as he does stick around. I do think it's very real that the Rams could make a move using Bryce Perkins, and that could have been one of the reasons that they retained him right now, is to maybe turn him into something different and not like transform him in any way, but like try to wiggle out some picks maybe. Or if you see a player that you kind of like, you can package him with some picks to a team that might need a backup, and then you can get somebody in that you feel really good about. But I was a little bit surprised to see the Rams go with 3 because I do think it's unnecessary. He's not going to be active on game days. He is kind of just, in my opinion, eating up a roster spot for other people. Although Bryce Perkins, he was very exciting preseason quarterback, but let's not pretend like he's battling for Stafford's job right now, okay? He's very exciting. I like what he's doing, and I hope he keeps progressing. He's made some pretty big strides already, but you know what? Matthew Stafford and the Wolf, are our guys. At the running back spot, at number 1, I've got Darrell Henderson, 2, Sony Michel, and then behind them would be Jake Funk. I do think that we see a pretty decent rotation here. I fully anticipate that Sony Michel, as well as Jake Funk, will get in on the offensive side of the ball against the Chicago Bears opening weekend. At tight end, I got the Rams starting Tyler Higbee, followed by Johnny Munt, followed by Bryson Hopkins, followed by Jacob Harris. The reason that I have Jacob Harris sitting at 4 right now is mainly because he's a rookie right now, and we know what Sean McVay does with rookies, which is really nothing. He doesn't really use them a whole lot, but also his comments in his press conference made it sound like he is really excited for Jacob Harris this year to be a member of the special teams unit. So I do anticipate that Higbee and Munt will be getting the bulk of the play there. At the wide receiver spot, I don't feel confident saying really any of these names except for the top 3 because I think we see a pretty decent rotation with guys playing in multiple spots. But number 1 is Robert Woods, 2, Cooper Kupp, and then, of course, they'll just be the outside guys. Deshaun Jackson, I think we'll see in a lot of different places. Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell, I think they're going to be the guys who kind of come in and relieve some of those top guys. And then Ben Skoranek, I think, also kind of plays that role, although he is still currently hurt. On the offensive line, this is going from left to right for your starters, is going to be Andrew Whitworth, David Edwards, Brian Allen, Austin Corbett, and Rob Havenstein. Rob Havenstein, by the way, if you're watching, Rob, I don't know why you would be, but if you are, actually, I do know why you would be. This is an incredible Rams show, but if you are, thank you so much for your glove. I appreciate that. It's a big old glove, makes my hand look like a child's, but that's pretty fun. Got that in Denver. But that is my left to right there, and then Bobby Evans, Joe Noteboom, A.J. Jackson, Tremaine Ankrum, and then Coleman Shelton. I think that Shelton will really be the backup center, but it would also make sense that if Brian Allen goes down, that Corbett would shift over, and then Shelton would come in at right guard, or somebody else would come in at right guard, whether that be Bobby Evans, who I think played a lot better, especially when he was at right tackle in the fourth quarter against the Denver Broncos, was playing really good football there. I think he's a better tackle than he is a guard. I really do. I think he performs a little bit better against those edge guys than those defensive tackles in the middle. But I think we'll see a lot of shifting here as far as the backups go, and we've got some versatility there. Bobby Evans can play guard and tackle. Joe Noteboom can play guard and tackle. A.J. Jackson can play guard and tackle. Tremaine Ankrum, guard and tackle. Coleman Shelton, guard and center. So it kind of works out that way. And then Austin Corbett as well, who's a starter, he could also play that center role as well. But Brian Allen, he's pretty much locked in. He is a center. But hearing some very, very positive things. So Brian Allen was originally one of my cuts. That was weeks ago before preseason even started. And then what we've learned he's now a starter, and I feel good about that. On the defensive line, I'm going with Aaron Donald, Sebastian Joseph Day, and I do list A'Shawn Robinson, although he is hurt right now and is anticipating being out for a few weeks. But we could see Jonah Williams play that spot. We could see Greg Gaines maybe come in. He has starting experience there. I would hope that he would start the season a lot stronger than he started the season last year. He did, however, get better as the season went on. And I would love, personally, just to see Bobby Brown. Gig him. And at the linebacker spot, at outside linebacker, I'm going with Leonard Floyd and Justin Hollins. Based on the comments from Raheem Morris, though, the Rams defensive coordinator, it does sound like Terrell Lewis really could be getting this start here. Obo will be looking at short-term IR, so we'll be missing him for a few weeks. And then I think Chris Garrett gets in pretty rotational as far as the outside linebackers go. But I do still currently at this time have Justin Hollins sitting there. At inside linebacker, I'm listing Kenny Young and Troy Reeder. I have that listed for now. I do think that Ernest Jones eventually takes that over, and I fully anticipate that Traven Howard does get plenty of playing time in a rotational role. But Kenny Young, I'm real big on Kenny Young. I'm a fan of Kenny Young. I think that he's shown some really strong improvements over this last year or so, and I'm looking for that to keep on going. At cornerback, we know that your top guys are going to be Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams. David Long Jr. looks to be rocking the slot, but we'll also see Jalen Ramsey in the slot a lot as well. So Robert Rochelle, I think, will get in there a lot because, of course, I mean, when you only have 4 corners, they're probably all going to play a decent amount. But Robert Rochelle, I'd like to see him on the outside while Ramsey's inside. I want to see Ramsey outside for sure. I want to see him on the ones. I want to see David Long outside because he seemed to be already like slotted in at slot for the bulk of his career already. At safety, we got Jordan Fuller and Taylor Rapp as your starters. I'm predicting Taylor Rapp to start there, but I don't think that lasts. And I'm not trying to bash Taylor Rapp because I want him to play well. The only thing that I've seen is just I thought that we would see more progression by now. So I'm not trying to bash Taylor Rapp. That is not the intention at all. I just thought that where he was his rookie season, I thought we would see bigger jumps. So you know what? Maybe that's my bad. Maybe my own expectations of Rapp, I think, would maybe set a little high. And if you're short of any expectations at all, it's just like this guy sucks. You know what I mean? So that's not the intention here. But I do think that Terrell Burgess has the chance to do what he did last year again, which was take reps away from Taylor Rapp. And then when Burgess got hurt, Rapp started coming back in. I do expect to see Nick Scott out there a lot, though. Nick Scott's made some great strides on that on the defensive side of the ball. No longer just a special teams guy. He was brought in to be just a special teams guy. He's now a great defender. Juju Hughes all over the place in preseason. Fearless. Those open field tackles were real crispy. Loving that one. And then J.R. Reed, who I think will get in mainly on special teams. And we'll talk about the special teams real fast. I don't have it written down, but obviously we know Johnny Hecker-Matt-Gay. But right now, the Rams actually have their punt returner on the website on the unofficial depth chart listed as Cooper Kupp. I don't expect that to hold. I think that we'll see Tutu Atwell there. I think that Tutu will probably be our kick and punt returner. He was back there a lot, and he's got that speed. He had one against Denver. It was a punt return where he kind of hit it, and I don't think that he was ready for that defender to be as agile. Like the way that he made the cut, I'm betting money here, and that doesn't make any sense because we'll never be able to prove it. But I'm betting if that was a college player, that move would have gotten him. But this is the NFL, and every single one of these guys is absolutely insane. So I mean the difference between the best NFL team and the worst NFL team, very slim. So I think that Tutu kind of had those moments a couple of times where he realized that his moves and his speed and stuff like that, while electric, not to the same, it doesn't have the same potency in the NFL as it did in college. So I do anticipate Tutu taking a lot of those reps. Guys, the preseason's over. You know what that means? That means you need to subscribe to Ram Showcase. That's on this side here. If you guys liked this clip, which if you did, then you're going to like the entire thing. So watch that on this side over here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Peace. Go Rams.